Hey everybody, welcome to Journey Well with Dasha. So I wanted to talk about something today because I think sometimes we make things harder on ourselves than we need to. And that one thing I want to talk about today is anxiety. Can you love God, trust God, pray, read your Bible, and still be anxious? See me nodding my head. Yes, you can. And I think sometimes, especially as Christians, we make ourselves feel worse because we're thinking, well, if I really trusted God, I wouldn't be feeling like this. And I don't necessarily believe that to be all the way true. I mean, think about it. You can know something in your head and still have your emotions telling you something completely different. You can say, I know God is going to take care of me. I know He's going to fix this. And then 5 minutes later, you're saying, oh, okay, I know He's going to fix it, but how is He going to do it? How is He going to do it? That's, I mean, that's how I'm talking about me. I ain't necessarily talking about you. I'm talking about me. I'm in one breath, I'm like, Lord, I know you're going to take care of it. I know you're going to do it. And then in the next breath, I'm like, okay, how you going to do it, Lord? This is a big task, Lord. How you going to do it? Right. So because I've been there and you've been there, we know that the two exist together. We can have total trust in God taking care of something, but then we can have some questions circulating in our mind about how He's going to do it. It's just part of human nature. So, one thing I've learned from being a social worker and working with people is that sometimes anxiety isn't just about what's happening right now. Sometimes it's about what you've already been through. And if you've been through trauma, if you've experienced rejection, if you've been disappointed, if you've had a lot of things happen that were outside of your control, your mind can start expecting something bad to happen. So you're not necessarily saying, I don't trust God. Your mind might be saying, I need to be prepared because I don't want to get hurt again. And I think that's where we this is where I think this is where we need to give ourselves a little grace because faith doesn't mean that you're never afraid. Faith doesn't mean you're never overwhelmed. Sometimes faith is literally, Lord, I'm scared. I don't understand right now. I'm going through this dark season. I don't know which way to go, but I'm still going to trust you. That's faith too. Isn't that what David did? We have a whole bunch of Psalms where David is lamenting and he's unsure about what's going to happen to him. He's unsure about what his next move should be. But the one thing that remained consistent with David is that he always put it back on God. And that's what we have to do. We have emotions. God created our emotions. He knitted us in our mother's womb. That's Psalm 139. He knew all the intricate details about us. And so he understands that we're going to be scared sometimes. We're going to be overwhelmed, all of that. But when we turn it from ourselves and we put it back on God, then that's where our faith lies. That shows us that we're human, but we're still trusting in God. And we can still have these questions in our mind, even though we know that God is going to take care of it. So the next time you find yourself anxious, instead of beating yourself up over the head and saying, I shouldn't be feeling this way, I want you to just stop, just pause for a minute and ask yourself, what am I actually worried about? What am I telling myself about this situation? And then ask, what does God say about this? Because sometimes our feelings are real, but they aren't telling us the truth. They're not telling the whole truth about the situation, right? So feelings are just that. They're feelings. That doesn't mean that they're true. And so we have to question our feelings. So if you're somebody who loves God, and you still struggle with the anxiety sometimes, symptoms of anxiety, I just want you to know you're not weird, you're not a bad Christian, and you're not alone. We're human and we're learning and we're growing, and that's part of the journey. And that's really what I want Journey Well with Dasha to be about: faith, mental health, healing, life, and just learning how to navigate some of these things together. So that's all I have for you today. I'll see you on the next journey. Take care.